Hello everyone, welcome to a stream. We are doing something interesting today. We're playing a couple of cash game tables but also tournaments. I fired up two tournaments, one of them was a satellite, but I just busted on that one. I jammed for 11 big blinds in the small blind with king 6 suited, got called by 10-8 offsuit in the big blind, and he turned a 10 and I was out, but that was fine. It was still quite good value in that one, and that's my motto for the day. I want to show you how to find value. So I have this tournament up here. It's a $10 tournament. We'll talk about it soon. Now, first of all, I need to play this hand because I raised ace king offsuit on the button and got called by the big blind. We now have two overs and a backdoor flush and a gut shot. So I am going to just check this one back. We still have a pretty good hand, and now we have an even better hand. We got there with our gut shot, and we still have a redraw to the second nut flush, which is not too bad. Let's see if he bets. He does not bet. So I am going to go for a fairly big bet now. He will probably call if he has some sort of showdown value. I think he will call once, but apparently he didn't have anything, so he just folded. Yes, so this is a tournament on the top left corner, and these other two are cash games, 25 NL. I'm looking to add maybe another tournament, but I'll see what is available and where we find good value. So here the good value that I found is on this tournament. There's a $500 guarantee for a $10 buy-in. At the moment there are 21 players registered, so they've only got $210. That's even including rake. And so yes, there is a late registration period for another 28 minutes. So if you want to join this one, I think this is massive value, because I just don't think they'll get anywhere near the 50 runners that they need, or even 55 with a rake to make it worthwhile for them. So that's really great for us players, because the overlay is just fantastic. Even if there are another 20 players that join, so that we're around 40 in the end, I still think that that's just great value for us. So come join me if you like and play with me. And with the cash tables, I haven't had any action really yet, so I'm just going to play a bit and see how this goes. I've only really fired up these two tables now. I might add a third one depending on whether I add another tournament table, so we'll see. Seven deuce off, great one. Think I've had this on every table so far now. King 6 suited will fold. Queen jack off. We can raise this one in the hijack. This table has played fairly passively so far. And yeah, so taking down the blinds, that's great. check the 7-4 off in the big blind once the other player bets, limps, I mean. Could have bet the flop, but let's see. He now checks twice, so I'm going to bet. And I would probably have bet the river as well if he had called, but he just folded. And now we have ace queen. And in the cash game we have pocket sixes in the big blind. Players are taking a long time tonight on everywhere. Okay, ace queen, this is a tricky one. I'm just gonna call with this one in the small blind. And I think I got a walk there. Okay, so now we have top pair. That's pretty good. We're probably gonna go broke. So it's a three-way pot. We have top pair, top kicker. Bit of a disguised hand. And this is a pretty bad turn card. This could hardly be any worse than the flush coming in, although I do think that at least the original raiser would have c-bet with a flush draw, so I don't think he has a flush. And the big blind could have one. I mean, they both could, but... and I think now I do want to go fairly big. With top pair, top kicker, I'm happy to overbet this, but we get a snap fold, so he might have had the ace or king of hearts or some middling pocket pair that he just folds to a lot of action. Fair enough. Okay, we're 5-6 suited now. There was a raise. We can go for a small re-raise with 5-6 suited. I know it's not the most amazing hand, and I'd rather have maybe ace-5 offsuit or so, but I still think it's fine. We get called. This is a good flop for our range, obviously not exactly for our hand, but this is fine. We now, this is a tricky one. We'll obviously never get him to fold an ace there. But we get him to fold whatever he had. That's great. With 6 high. Yeah, when he check called so quickly there, I thought he might have an ace, but he might still have something like pocket tens or so that he doesn't get in. Although on the other hand, he should, with that stack size, just over 20 big blinds, you'd get it in. So maybe he had a hand like king jack or so. But even an ace, actually, I don't think he would snap fold an ace there, so I'm pretty sure he didn't have an ace. But even with an ace, if it's not the best kicker, he might just give up and fold. Okay, here we call the big blind and we flop a pretty good one, but he bets quite big. So against a small raise, I would have a small bet I would have raised, but here I am just going to call and take my equity. And he now overbets this. This is definitely a spot where he should overbet. I do know that. Question is, can we ever get paid if we hit our flush. And I don't think so. I'll just have to give up, unfortunately. When you bet so big, I don't want to be involved. Yeah, so I see a few more people coming. Thank you for watching. Also, I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning. I think no one was watching there yet. So I am playing a bit of a mix here. On the top left, I have a tournament, and the other two are cash games, and I might find another tournament to add. There are some interesting ones, but I just don't want to play for too long, to be committed for too long, so that's why I have to pick some good tournaments. But this one that I found, this is just incredible value, because it's got a guarantee of $500. There are only 26 players so far that paid $10 each, so we've only just about covered half of the guarantee. Another 19.5 minutes of late registration, so if you want, you could join me here. Pocket queens, that's a good hand. In the cash game, top right. And 10 deuce off, I'll have to fold, and this is unfortunately not a great one. With a king high board, we're out of position. And now I feel quite good, but I'll still let him take the betting lead now. I know this is a rather aggressive player, so I'm a bit confused as to why he does that, but it's okay. I'm going to check call this, and on this river I'm just going to block bet this, because if he has some sort of a pocket pair like 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, 6s, 5s, he will call. He might raise, but he folded. Okay, fair enough. Okay, not going to call this, so there wasn't a limper. This guy posted, I think, and then I know they're gonna raise to 5x, which is fine when there is a poster. Okay, so I'm gonna have a look at tournaments in a second. Let's actually just do this now. Can we play any of these? I don't want to play the main event because that one has like a 3-hour late registration, and I don't want to be committed for such a massively long tournament. Here, this is a hyper 25 one. Oh, sorry, where are we? Queen Jack. We can fold this. A hyper. I don't normally love hypers, but we could play one for 25 just for the fun of it. Let's see what the value situation is. And Queen 10 with the limper. Okay. Okay, the value situation is they have $800, so they need about over 30 players. There are 11 so far. I'm gonna raise King 7 off on the button. Very marginal raise, but if they will fold, then it's quite good. Yeah, so it's maybe not the biggest value ever in this tournament, but I might still join it. It's got 25 minutes late registration, so I think it probably is still there is value in playing it, and it's a hyper, but it's not PKO, so that's good to register. So I'm okay. Let's play this one. Adding a bit of fun. So on the left we have tournaments, on the right we have cash games. Here's another one. So yeah, let's see if we can do some damage today. Someone open jammed for 26 and 7 big blinds. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold. No problem. Okay, 9-5 off, we can fold in the big blind. 7-5 suited, we can fold in the small blind. Okay, ace-2 suited, I'm gonna raise in the cash, on the cash table. And we have ace-2 suited in the hyper as well. Going to raise this one up. You are getting 3-bet by the small blind. This is one where we can try to go for a 4-bet against the small blind. And this is obviously a big bluff, but anyway. Here we're getting jammed on. Okay, so ace-2 is definitely a fold. Okay, we completely whiff the flop with our ace-2 suited. So there is not that much we can do. I think I will probably just kind of give up. Okay, here we have king-queen suited against an early position raise. I'm not entirely sure in a cash game, but I will call. And this guy now goes half pot there. We don't have a lot of equity. Yes, we have the deuce there, but we only really beat a bluff. But then again, now we do have a pair and we didn't bet the flop. So we'll see what he does now. He jams. Okay, well, this king is obviously a much better card for me than it is for him. In terms of ranges, I mean. So if he jams, I am just going to fold, unfortunately. Okay, we got called. Oh no, we called here, and then the big blind called table on the bottom left. I think because this player bet and there's another one there, I'm just gonna fold now. He's the under the gun raiser, and all we had was a gut shot and the backdoor flush draw. But yeah, we did find some value here for sure. As I said, definitely in the top tournament and hopefully in the other one as well. Let's see how this one's developing. Another 11 minutes and 33 players. Well, maybe we will make it to 55 players after all. Still think it might be good value. So anyway, welcome everyone. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's get into this together. Pocket jacks. And bottom right table in the cash game. What is going on? So I will fold my jack deuce off. Okay, so there are lots of calls. I'm just gonna make this 9 big blinds now. And here, this guy makes it pretty big, 3.5, but we have, I still calling. Ace 4 off is a fold. He checks, and I am going to bet this one very small, taking a small stab with bottom pair, more for protection if he has a hand like ace jack, queen 10, 9 8. He does check raise, which is interesting. Still not folding, and up here I'm going to raise this one up. If he bets again, it'll be tricky to continue calling. Not only does he bet, he jams. Okay, well then I'm gonna fold my bottom pair. That's fine. Seven deuce off. I'm not even going to limp if it folds to me. The small blind. Oh, and here we have king deuce versus ace king all in, and king deuce wins it. Yeah, the joys of poker tournaments. Jack 10 off. I'm going to raise this one. This table has been rather tight so far. Do get called, and now we can just go for a quarter pot c-bet with our open-ender. We get a fold, which is excellent. That's what we want when we have jack high and we bet. So do you guys ever play cash games and tournaments in the same session at the same time? I rarely do that. Normally I don't like it because I get a bit confused, but now I've really internalized that I have the tournaments on the left side and the cash games on the right. So that should be okay. Ooh, aces versus ace king versus jack. So this guy's quite unlucky. First he lost with ace king, but wow, look at this. They're all chopping. Well, he lost with ace king against king deuce. He lost an all in, and now he went all in against jacks and aces. But then they all just split the pot. Everyone got their money back. Okay, we have ace 10 off. and there is a jam. So we have to call 10 to win almost 14. We are probably good, and we're nowhere near the bubble, I think. So, no, we're not. I am going to call this one. And we are racing, and we're not racing anymore. We're doing pretty well, I would say. So, that is great. Finally, an all-in that I win. I wasn't even favored on this one, so it was a little marginal, but I think against his range we are okay, because the 11 big blind shoving range from the cutoff is gonna have some ace X that are better than mine. Yes, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, but there might also be some suited aces that are worse than mine, and then there's definitely king, queen, king, jack, queen, jack suited, jack 10 suited, maybe some other suited connectors. Okay, here this guy donks, that is fine, on 10, 6, 6, shouldn't really, I think, but anyway. Now he goes 2 big blinds, fine, I am going to call again, and now we have top pair, so let's just go 9 big blinds, and we get snapped off, and we win. Great. So he got there. He made it so cheap for us. 1 big blind on the flop, 2 big blinds on the turn, and then we got there, and I made it 9 big blinds, and got there. 8-6 suited, that's one that I can call behind for just 1 extra big blind. We flop second pair, and a couple of back draws. Pocket sixes, we're in the small blind, we're going to fold this one. Okay, this guy c-bets, that's okay. We are going to call, and here we have pocket tens. Checking to the aggressor. So this guy 3-bets me where I have my pocket tens. Okay, and here he bets again. I'm just gonna fold now. Okay, what do I do with my pocket tens? I'm not gonna fold. Do I want to get it all in? I'll see. I will call here. That's not the worst flop for my hand. If I jam now, can I get called? I can get called by ace kings with a diamond, but I can see I can just call again. Okay, he checked to me. So should I jam? Should I bluff catch? Should I check fold? That's the question. Those are the questions. I think I can't really get called by anything worse, or not much at least. So I'll just check, and we win it. He snap checked behind. Yeah, that was an interesting one, but that's going all right. I still want to see. We got another minute and 41 players. So yeah, we'll probably have an overlay in this tournament. So if you're very quick, you could join. Okay, so the guy finally wins an all-in now, this time with King Queen. Wonder if they all fold, whether I should jam. Well, decision obsolete. King Jack off, early position in a 7-handed game. I will just fold. Be very disciplined and fold. Okay, here we get raised. Oh, here we have King Jack. Here we can definitely raise King Jack. I could raise, I could call. I'm just gonna call. He checks, so I am going to check behind. Now we have a gut shot, and here we can just go for a small bet. And here now I'm going for a big bet. And he folds. So here with a 10. 10 is not great for him, but I just don't know how good a player this is, but he folds, so that is an easy one then. 9-6 off, even against the min click from the button, is unfortunately just a fold. Right, this guy makes it 4x on the button, so against a 4x raise I'm going to fold. And here we got 9-6 again in the $25 tournament, and King 3 off in the cash game is a fold. 9-6 off in the tournament is also a fold. King 10 suited in the $25. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I am going to just call this one. Normally in a cash game I would play 3-bet or fold, but I am happy to call. Right, and here we're just not deep enough, but these players are just so short that I can definitely jam with my pocket fives. And here yep, we got it through. That's great. Let's see, I'm going to bet on the bigger side now with my King 10. That's fine. He just folds. That is okay. So that's the thing with these tournaments, and I'm by no means a tournament specialist. I definitely specialize in cash games, but what I have learned from playing a lot of these small stakes live tournaments, but I think that translates to small stakes online as well, is that people like to splash around, but only at the beginning, and they're quite loose and sticky, but then once you get to like 30-40 big blinds depth, they become a lot tighter and they will just overfold because they're just so terrified of busting. And this is great for us. We can, shall we just jam? I think we'll just jam. Like even for 21 we would definitely want to play this. We would never fold, and yes, he might fold a hand that he might jam otherwise, but the thing is, ace king, if you just get called, if you just min raise it and then you get called and then you miss, you might just lose a pot. So 20 big blinds effective against 3 players, 20 effective against 1 player, the others were 10 and 13 respectively. So there, I think it's fine to just jam ace king. Yeah, I've not really been lucky with tournaments in recent times. I busted quite a few where I was a favorite. Like the worst one I remember a few days ago when I had aces and someone had queen 9, and then the flop was just 3 low cards, and then a 9 came and then a queen came. And I kept barreling and I lost. But that's poker for you and for me, and that is okay. Nine eight suited in the big blind in this tournament. How are we doing anyway in this one? So 43 players in the end. We're fourth out of 24 left. 6 are getting paid. And here I am going to 3-bet my Jack 10 off, which I normally don't do, but when someone raises to 2x on the button, then that's the punishment that they will get from me. Right, I'm just gonna call with 9-8 suited, and I will fold to that. Here, 9-8 off, just because we have the antes in play. I can bet a raise. Yes, definitely folding my 9-8 of diamonds. We're getting 3-bet. Okay, so I have to fold 9-8 off. Seven five suited in the big blind again, the 3x raise. Bit borderline, but I am going to call it. Just so that I can fold on the flop when the flop comes ace, queen, jack. Okay, this guy busted with an ace. Okay, we have an easy fold. Okay, queen, jack, offsuit. So if the cutoff folds, we'll just jam this one. I'm not jamming 35, I'm jamming whatever he had, and he had an ace, but we win it. That's great. Yeah, so I jammed, I think, 12 big blinds, and I think that's absolutely okay. But he woke up with ace 9 off. He snap called, but we won it. And now I decided not to raise my 7 deuce on a fake button, although maybe I should have. Let's see, now we are second out of 22 with 6 places paid. And how is it looking in this one? 10 out of 21, 28. Yeah, so this one will probably well, no, it actually won't get there, because we need 33 or so players. We've got 28 so far, and only a minute. Oh, we have aces. Almost timed out. Getting called by, oh yes, a jam. That is excellent. So let's just call the all-in with aces and see if they hold. Aces against ace jack. Oh, the jack comes. But we win it. That's excellent. So, yeah, going all right in both of these tournaments. Can't complain. As I said, I lost an all-in as a favorite in a satellite I played before I started streaming, so just like 2-3 minutes before. But now, this is all right. So on this one, we are first out of 24 now in the hyper. Yay. Well, if you have aces and someone jams with ace jack and you then also hold, that's fairly easy to progress like this. And now we have ace king in the $10 tournament. That's a nice flop for us. Definitely going to c-bet it with the nuts. Getting raised. I think I'm just gonna re-raise this. If he has a flush draw, he's not going anywhere. If he's got a set, he's not going anywhere. Right, so this is a fairly big stack there. I can't fold. Oh, unfortunately he folded there, so I'm calling, but I don't really want to jam, although now this is of course a situation where I do like my chances. And should I just jam? No, I'm just gonna call, and now we have the, well, the second nuts, because 5-6 of spades is a straight flush, and we only have the nut flush, but I'm okay with that. Well, he keeps barreling. That's not bad. If we call, then we can, yeah, we can get all the money in on the river. King might not be that great. Let's see what he does. I hope he jams. He does not, but now I will jam. I'm just waiting for a bit. And let's see if he calls. I think he probably had a big hand, but he found a fold in the end. And we are still cruising at high altitudes. That's great. Here we can just c-bet, get called. Can just continue. Okay, we get jammed on where we have queen 10, so that's just a fold. But we do get it through at this other table, which is excellent. And we have aces now in the $10 tournament. Well, won't complain about them, although it depends what's gonna happen. So unfortunately everyone's folded, so I'm just gonna limp with my aces. Oh, this we're getting limped on. Just check. Okay, let's start with the check. Actually, I wanted to bet this one, but okay, he bets 1. Then let's just bet 2.8. We need to get some money in the pot. He calls. And shall we just jam? No, we're gonna bet small. And here we're gonna call with jacks. And on this river, I am gonna jam for 10 bigs. And we get snap called by queen 4, 2 pair. Okay, it's very similar again. Look at this, look at this, look at this. This is, I mean, we have been lucky enough, but still. Okay, here we went check, 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 check in a 3-bet pot. I am now going to go about 2/3 pot with my pocket jacks. And he folded, so he seems very fit or fold. But yeah, with the aces, again, I did not do very well. But no harm done. I'm still, well, I'm second now out of 18. So that is okay. And this guy, I am going to jam. So let's see if he puts in his 0.8 big blinds or whether he'll fold them. I think I'd prefer him to fold because he still has a lot of equity no matter what he has. I mean, unless he has 3 deuce or 4 deuce or 4-3, he still has a lot of equity. Even if he has like 9-5 offsuit, he'll still have close to 50%. Right, let's check when this guy limps to us. And now we can bet 1 big blind. Wow, is he really thinking that hard whether to call with 0.8 or is it just like... Okay, we now have 7 deuces and that's just the one hand I really don't want to do anything against. So we can just check now. And look at this. We don't have the nuts because ace king are the nuts and then king 9. But we're still gonna bet this fairly big. If he has a queen or a jack or even 2 pair or so, he might look us up, but he does not. Sadly, he does not. Okay, speaking of sad, this guy is sitting out, but I'm actually, yeah, I am going to raise this one because, oh, he did come back somehow, okay. Well, the problem is now I got myself into a real pickle with this hand. Because I can't bluff this old player who's all in. So I will have to just play it to the end. So he did have a king, the other guy. Okay. Yeah, so the reason why I jammed there was because I thought the small blind, even though he only had 0.17 bigs behind, I thought he was sitting out because that's what it said there, but somehow he just came back. Okay, here we're getting jammed on, so we have to fold queen 10 suited for 15 bigs. So otherwise I wouldn't have raised if I had... Ooh, he's got a boat. If I had known that the player is there, because I would expect him to jam. Or not, yeah, not to jam, like to call off his 0.17 big blinds. And against that, I wasn't going to be in the greatest of shapes, although if the big blind folds, that's still not a bad situation. Okay, jack 10, we flop a jack, so we are going to go for a small bet. And we get a fold, that's alright. Ace it off in the hijack is too early, even in a tournament where you can be slightly wider. We have ace king in the cash game. Obviously raising it, and we have pocket sevens in the $25 hyper. But someone jams, so I'm going to fold to this jam. Here we're going to raise king 8 against the limper. We cover him. So we are going to c-bet this. If he calls, we're going to bet the turn, but he doesn't call. So that's excellent. And we are now on a break, not in the cash, although on the cash I'm also going to sit out. So then we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, thanks for waiting or thanks for coming back. We are back both in the two tournaments and at the two cash game tables. Right, so what do we have? We have an all-in here, we're definitely folding. Here we're folding, and here calling 5 to win 10 with ace-8 off. I mean, we are probably just about getting the right odds, but we're... Yeah, I think I have to call. Oh no, look at this. I just made a mistake. I didn't realize that this guy went... Oh, this is just really bad now. Really, really, really bad. Such a big mistake. I didn't know. I just came back. I didn't really see that this guy was in the hand. I just thought I was big blind and I thought I was closing the action, but obviously I am not closing the action. So, well, we were ahead at least. Pre-flop, I mean. We lost it in the end, but we were ahead. So it was what I thought with his range. Right, so here we are. Here I'm gonna 3-bet. And here, what do I want to do? Do I want to jam for 40 bigs? I think I do, even though we're approaching the bubble, but we are ahead of... Oh, here we're getting jammed on. He calls with pocket tens, so this is another race, and we win it. That's great. That is great. So this should hopefully see us in the money. Let's see where we are. We are first out of 12 players. Oh, I thought we were not actually. Oh no, we were. I thought I covered him. Oh Jesus, I'm really making silly mistakes at the moment. Right, I am going to raise Queen 8 suited. Okay, we're getting jammed on with Ace Jack. There's a call from a short stack, so I think I don't need to get involved. That's fine. And I would, would probably win this one, and I would have been ahead. So this guy jammed with Queen 10 suited after over a raise by a big stack. That is quite brave. Fair enough. So we are, what did I say, first out of 12, and we are really quite comfortable now. So no need to take any silly risks. Okay, we have 9-8 in the cash game on flop of ace 10-9. I'm just gonna check this one behind. But yeah, I'm still annoyed about the mistakes that I made in this other tournament where I just donked off a few chips, even though ironically I was ahead of both of those players. And here I'll just check it down. I can't really fold out anything better. I'm not gonna get called by anything worse. He did have a 9 as well, so that is unfortunate. Okay, I really need to pay more attention to what's going on. Going to, not gonna raise to 47, just to 7. And king 10 off. No, not against a 9x. Jam. So another one. So like today, whenever I 3-bet, I seem to get 4-bet. I'm just going to fold now. Okay, this player I am going to jam. I mean, yes, if he has the ace or king high or pocket pair, he will snap me off, but there is a good chance that he doesn't, and then I think it's worth doing that, applying pressure, hoovering up a few more chips. So we are now on 61 big blinds, which is quite comfortable. Sorry, I keep checking this because I just want to see where we're at. There's still 12 players, but like we have quite a few real short stacks that will probably, hopefully, be out soon. So we continue to apply pressure, and here we just have to jam. Oh, I mean, I didn't have to jam. I could have raised. But I panicked because I was looking somewhere else and I didn't know if I had enough time. I thought I was timing out, so I just jammed because I kind of thought that another player had raised, but there was just a big blind. So yeah, apologies. I'm not quite sharp at the moment. I don't know why, but that was actually because I was just distracted at this other table, and then I was just worried that I would get an auto fold there, because that's what happened to me last time. I think I even folded kings once because I just thought for a moment and then for some reason I had timed out. Okay, we have an all-in of 1.46 big blinds, so if the button and the small blind fold, I will definitely call. But the button jams, so I will definitely fold. He has ace jack, fair enough. And he takes it down. I don't mind that. How are we standing in this tournament? We're... oh, I'm 7th out of 13, okay. With 5 getting paid. Right, so is there merit in shoving with pocket fours? I think there is, because they do have quite a bit of fold equity, and if we get called, it's likely that we will get called by 2 overcards, which means that we would be slight favorites. But he folded anyway, which is the best outcome because I do not want to raise. And with 7-3 off, I'm definitely going to fold. Now we're entering the exciting time of the tournament, approaching the bubble on both tables. So here, still, oh, sorry, folding this. Still, no, it's 11 players. And with king 6 off, I am just going to jam against this player, just hoovering up some more chips, because why not? We need them because we want to win the tournament. We don't just want to cash. This is not a satellite. So any chips I can hoover up now will come in handy at some point. So we still have a comfortable lead. We've got 89,000 chips. There's 63, 50,000. Well, this player doubled up now. Yeah, so this will be a long bubble, I suspect, because players are rather careful. Ooh, 7s versus 9s and 7s. Take it. And here we are 6th out of 10 with 5 places paid. So that is good and interesting. Unfortunately, we have 10 deuce off in the big blind. Can't do much if anyone does anything. Also here, this is very annoying with 5-3 offsuit. We need to call 5 to win 8. We're just not really getting this. I would love to call, especially for such a small raise, but can't do it. And here, definitely can't call. 10 bigs with 10 deuce off. Okay, here I am going to start with a limp now. That's a decent flop for my hand. Going to c-bet, try to get him to fold whatever nonsense he has. Continuing with a betting. I mean, it's possible that he has a 3 or a 4, of course, or even a 9. Well, he called both. Okay, now I think it's time to give up with my 8 high. My flush did not come in, so that's okay. Here we raise ace queen, we get 2 calls. Going to go quite big on this one. First of all, he will never fold an ace, and secondly, if he has a pocket pair, he probably won't fold either. And here we just have to fold our 8 high. Fortunately, he folded there. So, what is the situation? There are 9 players left in this one. 6 paid. Where are we? We are 7th. Okay, well, this is a tricky one. Here I can raise. Here I'll fold. And here, can I jam? Don't want to jam this. I will call it. So 3 ways to it. Okay, I'm gonna check with my king high. And I'm going to bet this one. 2.3 bigs. And we got a fold, that's excellent. Okay, now I am going to just call the one big blind with my second pair here on ace, ace, king, 9. And the 9 pairs as well, which is not great. And he now bets very small, but it could be a 9, of course, but it could be... Is this ever a bluff? Can I ever do anything better than just chop? But I'm still a sucker and I'll call. And he did have 9-10. Okay, so yeah, he got there on the river. He did bet the turn with just bottom pair, and I did have a better pair, but then on the river he got the 9. I didn't think that he would necessarily bet that, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. King 10 off, I with 2 players behind and him shoving for 9 bigs. I'm just going to fold. I mean, he laid me such a good price that I was okay to call with my king, but yeah, I was always gonna lose more than win, but that's fine. 8-5 suited, I'm going to call. Here I'm going to raise, here I'm going to raise, here I'm going to raise, here I'm going to check. Involved everywhere. He bets one big blind, definitely calling. Okay, here we're getting limp raised, fine. Bets big now. Okay, I'm gonna fold once he bets so big. Got 6 big blinds left, which is certainly not ideal. And we are going to call with the all-in with our pocket queens against pocket fours. I am okay with that. And we do not want to jam this, and we are going to fold king queen off. And we can raise ace 4. Okay, so this is the tournament where I have to concentrate now, because we are 8th out of 8 with only 5 players getting paid, so I might bubble, but whatever. Here I'm going to c-bet my middle pair. Happy to get him to fold queen jack or so. Well, here comes the queen. No point in betting. I'm just going to check. Ace 9 off with 5 bigs. I don't think I will get a lot of better opportunities. And he just jams now, and I have 2 pair. And he overbet jams, which is interesting. What does he do this with? Well, he can have 2 pair. He can have slow played 5-6. He can have a set. Do I want to call? I mean, this is really. Oh, did I bust? I didn't even notice this one. Okay. What did I don't even know what happened there. Should I call this? I mean, this is a rather passive player. He called 2 bets, but I do have 2 pair. Oh, okay. You see, this is what I meant. It just folded for me, but I'm okay, I think, with a fold. I was leaning towards a fold anyway because it's just still a lot of big blinds. It was over 20. If I lose that one, I'll be down to 30, and I prefer to just keep my position as leader, even though 2 pair is of course a very strong hand. And unfortunately I busted on this other one. I didn't even see what happened. Oh, and here they folded to me. Queen 5 suited. Just gonna limp this one again. Oh, that's a nice flop. So we'll just c-bet it. Oh yeah, so here we can close this session. Might open another cash table at some point. Unfortunately, he just folded. Four deuce off, not gonna get involved. Right, so let's look at the standings. So we're first out of 9 with 6 getting paid. Because there is a short stack, I have to fold this, unfortunately. So yeah, we are well in the lead, and we might have been even in the bigger lead if I had called there with the ace 4 with the 2 pairs, but I just don't know if he would bluff enough, and then if he would just jam enough 2 pair. That's weaker than my 2 pair. So that was the reason why in the end the decision was taken away from me because I just timed out. Wow, queens versus king queen versus king queen. Queens win it. What does that mean? So one player is out and one is a short stack, okay. So he is now okay. I will start with a different strategy now. Okay, now we have an open ender. So now I'm just going to overbet this one. And he calls. So we have the second nuts now. Do we want to go really big? Don't think we'll get him to call if we go really big. And I'm afraid I'm running out of time. And we get called. Oh, he had the 7 as well. Okay, so we're just chopping. I think I can raise this one. We get called, but that is okay because now we can just bet a quarter pot and hope that he will just fold, which he doesn't do. The 9 pairs. So I am going to check now, take my equity to the river. Now we have some showdown value. And he bets about half pot. I mean, he can have a king, he can have a 9. I still think that for 25% he might have enough bluffs there. Oh, just about. Okay, I'm gonna call it and probably lose. No, he did have a bluff. Queen Jack, great, excellent. But that's why I said it's a call, because I expected to lose maybe 50% of the time, but that's or 60 even. Okay, here we can definitely call with a6 off. There is nothing. He has ace3. That's excellent. So we'll probably chop. Yeah, we'll chop, but that's fine. At least we chopped the small blind. So where are we now? 8 players left still. 6 getting paid, but 1 really doesn't have like 3 big blinds or so, and then there are 3 with between 80 and 25,000. Okay, so now we are calling ace king against the same player. This time he has king 8, but there is the 8, so we losing this one sadly. So we chopped where we were favorite. Well, we were favored twice. First we chopped, and second one we lost. That is very, very annoying. Okay, going to limp again with king queen. And going to check. He bets one big blind for one big blind. I can call 3.5 to 1. That is okay. Going to raise ace jack suited in the cash game. And he... Okay, I'm going to c-bet. Is there any merit in betting? No, I think I'm gonna let him bet, and here we're going to overbet. Okay, he does now bet, so we're getting better than 2 to 1. I have to be good about 30% of the time. We didn't filter at all, so I think it's fine to call this one. And he had 2 pair. Okay, yeah, well, that has happened a couple of times, but that's okay. It's annoying, but it's okay. Are we still first? No, we're second now out of 8. Yeah, because we did get a bit unlucky, didn't we? But I can't complain because we got quite lucky before that. Six deuce off. So this player who's holding on with like one big blind now. Oh yeah, so this player. Okay, so we got 3-bet. We are going to 4-bet ace jack off again as a bluff. I've not really had a good hand in the cash game. I just realized, like, jacks once was the best hand that I had, or queens. I had queens once. Okay, I'm gonna 5-bet jam once again. So like every time, like in the cash games today, we did not get a 4-bet through at all. Like even 3-bets we didn't get through. I don't think we got a 3-bet through. Okay, with 9-3, I'm definitely folding this one. Okay, so this guy now has less than one big blind. By this guy, I mean the guy who is 8th there. So we need to get rid of 2 more contestants, and then we will be in the money for $25. Okay, I'm just gonna limp again with my queen 6. It's annoying that I have the one big stack in this tournament just to my left. I'm gonna start with a check, second pair. He probably has a king, but anyway, we're going to call. And now we both can have a 4. I'm going to check again. I don't think he has a queen or king, so there's not much I could get value from. He's betting again. Why do I want to pay him off? He's betting quite big, but what is he saying? And he's got a slow played 4 or a king. I think because I didn't filter, I'm just going to try again. I'm just going to call him. And he has a king again. Of course he does. He just happens to have a hand against me most of the time. Except the one time when I had a big hand. Then he had nothing and he just folded. Okay, holding in a call, and of course he'll win this one as well. This, boys and girls, is how you win tournaments. You just get extremely lucky, but that's okay. So, and this guy's still in there with his half a big blind. That's incredible. but I think we'll get rid of him now. So what am I? Third now. Yeah, because I keep paying the big stack off, although now he's disappeared from my left. Well, no, actually he hasn't. He's just moved a tiny bit. So this is the bubble now. And the big stack has raised, so I have to be careful. I mean, it would be pretty sad to bust out now, so I'm just going to fold 4-3 off. It's just not good enough. Okay, king queen off. I'm going to just call, even though it's a cash game and we're in the small blind. I'm not completely opposed to calling in the small blind. And we flop top pair, second kicker. Against two players though, because the big blind called as well. Okay, they both check. That's a pretty good one. Here we have pocket queens. And I am going to bet this one now. Okay, there's an all-in, there's a limp, and I'm going to jam ace-king, even though we are on the bubble. Here I'm going to call with my queens, and I think we hold. We won against the... No, we didn't! What happened there? No, I lost. Ah, jeez. Okay, calling queens. I lost this one as well. Great. Well, I won a few at the beginning, and here this is really, really annoying now. So, I mean, this guy 3-bet, what can he have that he 3-bets and then that's not a jack and not an ace? I block king queen. I block queen 10, you can have king 10, you can have something else, but I think I'm just beat, so I'll have to fold my queens. Yeah, very annoying. The cash session has been extremely frustrating today, as it was last time I played, yesterday I think. Because I just can't get anything going, and every time I 3-bet or 4-bet I get raised again. Look, like in this case here. I'm getting 3-bet. I'm gonna try again with a 4-bet. Let's see if we get jammed on once again. I'd like to get one 4-bet through, a bluff 4-bet. Probably the one time I will get one through, I will have aces. I did get it through, yes. Well, the evening can commence. That is excellent. Okay, and here we are still on the bubble because I lost the all-in with ace-king there against the tiny stack, but now he's all in, and let's hope that we can get rid of him. But no, yeah, we can. I think we can. Yes, I think it's out. Yeah, great. That's it. We are in the money. Okay, so let's raise it up with our pocket eights. Okay, I am going to just raise this one to 9 big blinds. I realize it's quite a big raise, but both players have not really put any money in there. Right, okay, I have to call 11 to win 21 against 2 players. Still think I probably have that, and this guy is super short, so it's actually only that one. I am going to call this, and I'm up against 9-10 and King Jack, but there's the Jack. And here we have aces, that's nice. Of course, we lose this one as well, even though we were okay against those hands. I think we didn't do anything wrong, but again, we just can't get anything. And with my aces, of course, everyone folded. Just a side note. And now I'm the shortest stack after all of this. It's like sometimes poker can be really, really, really frustrating. I did very well, and yes, admittedly, some of it, a lot of it was luck, but now, ever since we got near the bubble, it's just been really bad. And speaking of really bad, now I'm getting 3-bet again. I am going to 4-bet this one once again. Not expecting it to go through, because 1 is probably enough to go through, and I just had it. And here, Queen 8 off, I am going to fold. Okay, we are getting cold, so I am just going to size this one down. Go to about 9 big blinds. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of 10s there. And I do have big hands. Okay, this guy jams now, that's fine. Here we're just going to continue. If he calls again, I think he probably has a pair, which he does. And now, can I ever get him to fold a pair? I don't think so. For this sort of size, I don't think so. So I will just have to check and lose. I just don't think I can get him to fold. If we were much deeper, I could try to bluff this over bet because I have aces, kings, queens. But the sad thing is that I can't. And he bets big, but I mean, not that I can ever call. Right, what do we have here? There is a raise. We're just so short stacked. We are just gonna jam now. Sadly, we've just run so poorly over the last 15 minutes or so in the tournament. Just lost every all-in or chopped some. Not didn't lose all of them. I chopped 2, I think. No, 1. Oh, no, I'm up against 2 players, but at least... Oh, no, look at this. Again, so both have an ace, and an ace still comes, and then also the flush comes, and I am out. This is really frustrating. I did win all the all-ins at the beginning, but then towards the end it got really messy. But still, great value in this tournament, as I said from the beginning. They only collected around 300, no, it was around $400, and the price guarantee was 500. So nice overlay. We played fairly well, I think, in this one, but sadly didn't really get anything going at all towards the end. So let's focus on cash games now. Just going to see if I can join another one. I want to play some more 1025s. There's one here. You can take this one. And there's one here. Great. So we have 4 cash game tables. off. Let's fold. Five, three suited. I'll give it a try to raise with this one. It's very marginal, but we are on the button. There are antes in play, and the table's rather tight. That's an interesting donk here for half pot. Definitely going to call now, because I hope I can take it away on a later street. So he calls. I'm actually going to not go too big, because I do want him to call. One, and then if the flush doesn't come in, I'd bet big, but okay, that's fine. And he folded on the turn. Happy with that, especially when you have 5 high. Okay, queen jack off, we can raise. Okay, now this player donks again, which I think he shouldn't really. He doesn't have a lot of 3s and 4s. And now this is definitely not a good card for him, so this is a good card for me. I am going to go not too big. He calls, and now we can go fairly big, I think. And we get a fold. Excellent. That's the thing when players donk, like when they either think that they know what they're doing, like I suspect this player was one of those, because he thought, oh, that's a low board, that's bad for the preflop aggressor. Well, yes, it is, but it's also not great for him, because quite frankly, how many 3s does he have? And even the 4 is not like amazing. So that's why that's not exactly the type of board to donk on, I believe. I'd have to look it up in a solver actually, but I don't think it's the case. Okay, folding king 10 off. Okay, and finally getting to play on this table, top right now in the next hand, where we've been waiting for our big blind. Okay, 9-8 off is a fold. King 9 off is a fold. Okay, that's a good hand to start. Good hand to start with the jack 4 off. Folding 10 deuce off. Folding 9-6 off. And in the next hand we will play on the bottom right as well. Oh, good check 4 off on 2 tables now. That is excellent. Oh, we've moved up a rank from Jack 4 off to Queen 4 off. What a treat. Yeah, still a bit frustrated about the tournament. We were chip leader, and then I just got so unlucky. Yes, I made two calls. They weren't too big, but still river calls where I had top pair, someone had two pair, and then the other time I had, well, not the other time, the other times, about 5 times or so, I was either favorite or racing, and I just lost every single one of those. Okay, here with queens, we are going to 3-bet them. That's an early position raise. We are in the cutoff. Okay, we got king jack off, a raise and a call. I'm going to make a very light 3-bet squeeze, but it worked. Finally a 3-bet that gets through, and actually the queens also got through, but I didn't necessarily want that, although it's okay, because if early position and 4-bets, or even if they call, they have a lot of equity against queens. Queens are a good hand, but they're not like a great hand. I mean, they are a great hand, but not against an early position call of a 3-bet, because that calling range has a lot of like good ace X and other pairs, and yes, you are ahead against jacks and tens, but you're not ahead, or you are ahead, but like flipping with ace king, and then there are a few other ace X hands that you can have that have decent equity. So yes, you have you you don't mind that, but here, for example, this one's even a little thinner now. So I'm raising pocket jacks in the low jack against an early position, like a under the gun raise. Someone says, I'm wondering if you are live with delay. Yes, I am live with delay, so I got about 90 seconds delay. Sorry, I don't know when this message was sent, but yes, I do have a delay. Okay, so we got folds where we had the jacks. Fair enough. And now we have ace queen. We can raise this, of course. Okay. Get called, and there we have a queen. I am going to bet this one quite big because this is a recreational player. If he has a queen or a pocket pair, he will never fold. It did fold now, but that's okay. I want to get a lot of money in against a weaker queen when I'm up against a recreational player, and he definitely is one. I saw him limp earlier, and he doesn't have a full stack, only about 2/3, like 67 big blinds. Yeah, so if you guys want to play against me, feel free to come and join me. I would love to get involved against my viewers. Another limp there, but with ace-8 off. Not feeling too